Hey, this is Ahmed Zappa, and you're listening to Tom and Zeus on the Shouted Out Loudcast. In my opinion, the number one Kiss podcast in the world. And if you don't agree with me, then suck it.
And reports tonight on how destruction is impacting the campus community.
Names of O'Hara Hall, Skid Row, T-Zone, Banff.
Badass motherfuckers.
Somph, sit on my face.
Drinking like fucking ass pre-gaming, as we called it. What is this dorm damage bill on our tuition statement?
Dorm damage?
Well, we only broke like 3 chairs and 4 desks this month.
Is that a positive thing? Bam! That's right. We're back with another episode of Dorm Damage, the show where anything and everything is on the table and the table gets smashed. This is episode 75. It's tour review time, but not a Kiss tour, Zeus. Where did we go last night?
We got to go see Pearl Jam. It's funny because we did an episode about not too long ago on Dorm Damage.
Yep.
Episode 64, which we talk about Pearl Jam's incredibly long set list and that they always rotate it. It's the antithesis of a Kiss set list.
Yep.
And we each predicted what we wished was going to be a set list. It's funny. We'll see how we did in comparison. But yeah, I mean, we were really excited about this. So I have a cousin named George. I've mentioned all the George cousins on this show before, and him and his lovely wife, Katerina, they had extra seats. It's funny because we tried to get tickets.
Yes.
Remember you got the sneak thing, whatever.
I had a Pearl Jam pre-sale code. Okay.
Yep.
Not the 10 Club thing, but like another kind of Fenway pre-sale code. So I'm like, okay, this is good. I get in with the pre-sale code. These are the two options I had: obstructed view seats or $550 floor seats. I said, not that. This ain't happening. Nope.
It's funny you say that. I had obstructed seats because I had some fucking huge fathead that was like in the aisle, not in his seat. And kind of
you couldn't fit that guy into that seat with a friggin' shoehorn, those goddamn Fenway seats.
And then his buddy came over with the biggest medicine ball head, whose hat was hanging on by a thread.
He had one of those trucker hats with the plastic adjustable, and it was on the last snap, like, and it was so for mercy.
Yeah, it was so fathead. That, you know, with the bar, like where you click together, it wasn't like straight.
It was like bending. Curved. It was like a hinge.
Yeah. His head was so big.
Yeah, but before we get to the concert, why don't we talk about that adventurous ride to Fenway with our Uber?
Oh, well, we decided, because we're both in complete different opposite directions, and Fenway's in like the middle triangle. So we're like, we don't want to park in Fenway, and each of us drop like $70 to find parking and get out of there and be a zoo. Right. Let's make it adventuring, drive in together. So Tom and I met at my parents' house in Woburn, Massachusetts. We left the cars there, got an Uber, and this fucking Uber guy.
Oh, man.
No stopping the tolls, no nothing. Fucking flying.
This guy was a Jerky Boys spinoff with his driving. I mean, God bless him. I'm a terrible passenger to begin with. I get car sick, and especially sitting in the back. And I'm like, if this guy continues this way, there's going to be a problem in the backseat of this car right here.
He was fucking every traffic violation you could think of. He was doing it.
Oh, banging U's on Com Ave where you're not allowed to, and just
whatever. But he got us there.
Yeah,
and we met my cousin and his wife and their friends at a place. They were like Blue Ribbon. I'm like, the fucking barbecue joint? I'm like, what the fuck?
No, instead it was a really fancy place. Me and Zeus walk in. I have a Metallica concert shirt on. Zeus has a concert shirt on. Everybody's got like polo shirts on or like button downs, eating like sushi. And I'm like, it's like the guys in Animal House when they walk in and be like, we are going to die.
Yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, It was crowded as hell, as you can imagine. But those guys, we got to thank them for the tickets.
Mhm.
They left, and we got to sit at the bar. We ordered a couple burgers, a side Caesar salad, a side order, an appetizer of calamari.
Yeah.
You ordered a couple beers.
And what did it come to? $900?
It was like $130. Like, what the F? But whatever. Whatever. We're not going to complain. We got a nice meal out of it. We get to we walk up, and it's bringing flashbacks of the times when I used to have season tickets to the Sox and us going there.
Yeah.
And the guy that passes out the Jesus Saved stuffs was there.
Same guy.
I said, do you remember the time we all went as friends? We left my apartment when I lived in Chandler Street in Arlington, and we took the T. We went to the marathon, then we went to the Sox, and then we went to the Bruins game. He was at every fucking stop that day.
Yeah, I remember.
Still doing that trip.
Yeah, same guy.
That guy still, whatever big event is in Boston, he's going to be out there passing out Jesus stuff. Wow.
Yeah, wow. Crazy.
Anyway, tell them about getting in and getting situated.
Yeah, so we get this great seats. I mean, free seats are the best seats, but these were great seats. We were right between home and third base. If you've been to Fenway, this is my third Fenway show this summer, and I've been lucky. All the seats have been great, and we're told that Pearl Jam's going to go on around 7:45 or so. They get on stage right at about 7:52 is when I marked it down. And if you've ever seen Pearl Jam before, which we have, you know that they don't open up.
Before you finish that, we didn't want to see the opening act. It was
Glenn Hansard.
Glenn Hansard. I have no idea who he is. I believe the night before the Bruins goalie got up and played some songs with him or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. But we didn't watch it. So we got there just for Pearl Jam. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and if you've ever been to Pearl Jam before, which we have, they don't open up like Kiss with like this big like Detroit Rock City lights flashing, pyro, but they it's almost like
it's the antithesis.
They lull you into the show, but I'm telling you, it works. It works. It's pitch black. There's a light on the stage, but all you could see was the silhouette of the band. And of all songs, what do they open up with? A B-side. They open up with Footsteps.
Yes.
And then they go right into Release. But I'll tell you right now, when Pearl Jam does Release in an arena like that, it's like a religious experience. Because when everyone's when you got 35,000 people singing, oh, like it's just, and then right after that, then the lights come on, everybody's getting fired up, and they just.
Well, wait. The lights went on when I called it, because I said, watch, the lights will flick on at the major part where he goes, release me.
Yes.
And then the lights went on. It was awesome.
It was awesome. And then everybody's all fired up, and then they go into Given to Fly. Great song. Still kind of, a slow building song, but of course, great. We love Yield.
Yeah, I like that song specifically because of Touring Band, the DVD.
Yeah.
Where that fat girl is sign language in the song.
Yes.
And we're all like, what's this? We have a fat girl over here. She's signing. And speaking of that, dude, get the cock out of your mouth. I cannot fucking understand one word you're saying. The whole concert, he was talking so much, and I can't understand him. It's like seriously trying to understand somebody that doesn't speak English as their first language, and you have to really concentrate to him, and there's so much shit going on. So what the fuck is he saying?
So that's a good segue into one of my other points, and it's a combination of Eddie Vedder talking with rocks in his mouth. But I said this to Zeus. The acoustics. I'm not a producer. I'm not a concert, audio engineer. But I've been to many outdoor concerts, and again, it's my third Fenway show. The acoustics for this show, I thought were terrible. I thought they were.
I thought they were fine.
I thought the guitars were really muted. I thought the drums were way too up front, and I thought that when Eddie was singing during the songs, I thought he sounded absolutely spectacular. This guy does not sound like he's been singing for 35 years. He sounded incredible. But I just thought the acoustics on certain songs were real muddled, and you couldn't really hear like everything. But to add to your point, when he talked, I said to Zeus, I'm like, you have to be looking at the screen. If you use just your ears, you're never going to understand a word. You have to be looking at him to try to get it. Yeah.
Wow.
And then they go into Hail Hail. Great, great song off of No Code. We love that.
That's when he picks up a fucking guitar. It's a pet peeve of mine. I scream about it. I bitch about it. Dude, you with the guitar is Mick Jagger with the guitar. Put the fucking guitar away. You have two great guitarists. I don't need to see you. Oh, I'm a musician too. No, you're the lyricist and vocalist. Shut the fuck up.
By the way, we're 5 songs into this, and you haven't commented on his fashion attire yet.
I don't know who decided to do this Mickey Dolenz fucking urban sombrero hat in the rock star world now. But terrible. Everybody does it. It's fucking ridiculous. He's singing the whole concert with this fucking stupid hat on. It is the least rocking looking thing.
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh, it's brutal.
It's bad. It's bad. So anyways, he picks up the guitar and goes into arguably might be my all-time favorite Pearl Jam song, and that is Corduroy.
That was a great version. Great version of Corduroy. And then they start to do what most bands do when they're touring in support of a new album. They break into a song called Scared of Fear, the opening track off of Dark Matter, which I absolutely love. I think it's an amazing album, which was cool. So, and then they go right into that. They go into React Respond, which is another song off of Dark Matter. So back-to-back new tracks. So far, again, typical Pearl Jam set list. Couple hits, couple B-sides, couple deep cuts. Like, it's not your typical set list. It's not what we're used to with Kiss. Yeah, and now they're going to get into a song called Down, which I believe is on Lost Dog. And then
one of the B-sides. Yep.
Yeah, then he starts talking about Chris Cornell and climbing trees with a friend. And he said, that was Chris Cornell. And then he does In My Tree,
which I love. Oh, I love that song.
Yeah. And then they do Wreckage. From the
one of the best songs off of Dark Matter. Great song. Yep.
Yeah, and we're only up to song 10, but we're going to take a quick little break and we'll be right back. Number 11. What a way to come back from this on break from this. Even Flow.
Yeah, and again, it goes to what Paul Stanley says. The crowd loves the big hits. You could feel like first of all, the crowd was wild. I mean, this was a stand on your feet the entire show type of crowd. But when
except my old ass sat down.
Oh no, I did too. I sat down a lot. But when Even Flow came on, you could just feel like the infusion of just energy. You could feel it. It's like, okay, now they're playing the classics.
Which went into Mike McCready doing a solo. And it worked because it was in the middle of, it was like a jam session a little bit. But he did the solo because he put the guitar behind his back.
Again, fucking
in
stupid.
His head.
Just stupid. Just stupid. And I love Mike McCready.
It's like Paul putting it between his legs, playing the guitar. Like, okay, but at least the solo was in the song.
Yes.
And it was just a little bit of an extended solo, not like everybody leave the stage. Here comes the guitar solo. Oh, great. You know how to play guitar. Wonderful.
Right.
But I thought it kind of worked. If I'm going to get a guitar solo, I wouldn't mind it being like that.
Yeah.
But still, Even Flow is still, like, again, these are things that you sometimes I check out on a band. Like, they're playing maybe their biggest hit. Do they have the energy for it? And they did.
Yep.
And they did. Like, they're not like, oh, here comes Even Flow.
Well,
here we go.
Well, you bring up a good point. I kind of hinted at Eddie Vedder's voice earlier, but I mean, the band, again, these are old guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Stone Gossard and Jeff Ament, they look like they're guys that are in like a rock and roll fantasy camp that hang out with Murph on the weekends and play badminton.
Stone Gossard looks like my Uncle Charlie.
He looks like Walter White with a guitar.
And he looks like somebody that's Murph's neighbor.
Yeah.
Hey, neighbor. Hey. The ladies went out for the PTO meeting. How about me and you hit a couple golf shots down at the range? Oh, sure, buddy.
I got a new cornhole set. Come on over. I have some Rolling Rock on ice. Come on.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the guy's like ripping it up, playing like Even Flow in front of 35,000 people.
He just looks like the ultimate fucking middle class neighbor.
Yeah. But anyways, the band sounded, there was a ton of energy. They sounded amazing. They were running around the stage. Again, you wouldn't know that these guys have been around for 35 years. Just fucking awesome. So after Even Flow, they go with the title track of the new album again, which I love. They go with Dark Matter.
Yeah.
And then after that,
they did a good job.
Yeah, they did. And then after that, they pull out not a deep cut, but maybe a song you wouldn't expect off of Yield. And they went with Do the Evolution.
I don't know why you say that. They actually had a video for that song.
You know why? You know what? I take that back. That's my opinion because I don't really like the song.
Oh, I'm not a beer.
So I guess I call. I call it a deep cut because I very rarely listen to it because I don't like it. So when I hear it play, I'm like, oh, it's a deep cut. But you're right. I guess it's not. Fair point. Fair point. And then after that, oh God.
Here comes the gun reform conversation, and him talking about Ted Nugent, and we have more things in common than things we don't.
I like to use a bow and arrow and throw a 10-pound axe. I'm like, dude,
we can be bow brothers, and trying to like make amends with Ted Nugent, dude. Don't fucking punch down.
Yeah, just play the fucking song. So they go into Glorified G again, classic song. Sounds amazing. The backing vocals, everything sounds great.
He didn't do the Ted Nugent song.
No, he did not.
He didn't want to piss him off.
Because he pissed him off the previous night. Yep.
Yeah, because he changed the lyrics to some of the words about guns in that song. So
yes,
he talked about it, but they did Glorified G.
I will say this, too. Zeus brought up the Chris Cornell story about the tree, and there's a couple other stories later. For all the stuff we say about Eddie Vedder and whether you align with him politically or not, and he does know how to tell a story. I do. I think I don't know. I find myself like captivated when he's talking to the audience. I don't know. I just think he's good at what he does.
Because you have to fucking pay attention.
Well, that
you can't
too.
understand him with all the marbles in his mouth.
Well, I don't know. I just think he tells good stories. I don't know. Even though I don't agree with half of what he says, but I think it's cool.
Cock out, yeah, you'd understand him better.
And then of course he goes right into another gun song. He goes into Jeremy.
He says that too. He says, "Here's another song about a gun." I thought Jeremy was awesome.
It's overplayed.
I love it.
Let's do a Pearl Jam fatigue song episodes. That'll be on my list. So after Jeremy, they dig into the new album again, another new album song, and this is called Something Special. Nice kind of like mid-tempo, whatever. Not a bad song. I don't mind it.
And then he talks about childish cat ladies.
And everyone's like, yeah, Eddie, I agree with you. You're the best.
Dude, that's a fucking layup in Boston.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course
Dude, by the way, there are a lot of hot-looking MILFs, middle-aged women. And the crowd was our age. Yeah. And then there were some hefty.
Dude, there was a lot of good-looking childless cat ladies there. Let's put it that way, okay?
And then there was some fucking porkers. But, dude, like... there's some large, oversized lovers like Heavy D as guys there.
The overweight lovers in the house.
Was it oversized? Overweight?
No, overweight. The overweight lovers in the house. Overweight.
Heavy D and the boys were in there.
Remember, that's spelled with a Z.
Yeah. Oh,
boys with a Z. Get it right.
All right. And but the crowd itself was our age. It was awesome.
Yeah. Ton of energy.
Were fucking into it.
Yep. And then they go into another legend classic, Rearview Mirror. Fucking incredible crowd. The crowd engagement here, of course, just fucking awesome. So cool.
But he did something where he fucked up the ending, the last part, or he said he fucked up.
I didn't get that. I don't know what happened.
We did something wrong. Would you give me permission to do it again?
No.
And so they did the last part again.
Yeah, and then as Pearl Jam usually does, they do like a 14-song encore. So after Rearview Mirror is the start of the encore. Now, this was really cool. This personally hit me. They come out after the encore. Eddie Vedder has an acoustic guitar, sits on a stool, tells this beautiful story about Tim Wakefield and some of his experiences with him at Fenway with Theo Epstein and how we all know he's a big baseball fan. And you could see him kind of getting worked up and then dedicated the song to Tim and Tim's late wife, who also passed shortly after Tim did. And they played the song Just Breathe. If you don't know this song, I highly urge you to listen to it and listen to the words. It is It's one of the rare, like, beautiful, beautiful ballads. It's just an acoustic guitar and it's just Eddie. And it's a really, really beautiful song. And it kind of got the crowd to kind of calm down a little bit. But I really enjoyed this. So I like that song to begin with. And I thought that the way he kind of weaved it into the Tim Wakefield story was really cool.
Yeah, I agree with you. He started talking about Theo Epstein to be the new
the new commissioner of baseball.
He's like propping up stuff, and he was talking about Fisk's home run in 1975 and seeing it and all against the Reds, and just he was talking a lot of baseball. We all know he's a big baseball guy. So that was pretty cool. And then he comes and does. So this is like him doing an acoustic set. Is this when he put on the fucking stupid John Olerud batting helmet on?
It's like the batting helmet that you get the ice cream sundae in. He's put it on his fucking head.
He looked like a moron.
Oh, and don't forget throughout the show he had a number 34 Walter Payton jersey, and he told us that he was wearing it because it's their 34th time playing in Massachusetts. I'm like, dude, you wear that fucking that shirt everywhere.
We opened across the street, and now we're at Fenway. Okay, what was the bar across the street? We definitely were there, not at the concert, but we've definitely been there. If it was in the 90s, so I was
probably it was probably like Avalon or like an Axis or something. Bill's Bar,
Mama Kins or fucking or Copperfield. Or what was that? First base or third base, whatever that place was.
Great Scott.
Oh, fucking terrible. Anyways, then he has the guy that opened, Glenn Hansard, come on. He sings a song of Good Hope, which is that guy Glenn Hansard song. They sing it together on an acoustic set, the two of them. And then they really rock out with a fucking deep cut.
Oh, God. This is the first time this has been played live since 2018. They played Blood. Now, Blood off of Versus. Heavy, vicious, aggressive song. The fucking band sounded perfect. Eddie Vedder's vocals, they sounded incredible. That is a ballsy song to try to play when the album came out 30 years ago. I think it's a killer song. It's not a popular song. I thought the band sounded incredible with it. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the song. But,
okay.
It was interesting to hear them play it.
Yeah.
But then they get into a real crowd pleaser, and they played Better Man.
Talk about a crowd singing along. Just amazing.
My God.
Just amazing sing along. Great.
Half the song, I think the crowd sang.
Yeah. And then they kind of interspersed that 80s song by the English Beat, Save It for Later. He kind of did that during the breakdown. I'm like, holy shit, he's playing Save It for Later. So that was kind of cool. And then they go into another song off of Dark Matter, a song called Setting Sun, kind of a mellow song. Again, I love the new album, so I was really happy to hear all the new stuff off the album.
Yeah, the background, this is when part of we haven't mentioned it. They had a major screen behind them, had different special effects going on while the band was playing.
Yep.
And that's when the big rising sun was coming out and stuff.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's for that song, that's why I specifically remembered, what was the set like? The stage and stuff, and that's what they had in the background.
Yeah. And now, for me, one of the greatest encore runs in the history of any concert I've ever been to in my entire life. Yeah. I've been going to concerts since 1988. This next run of songs, not only the song selection itself, but the crowd involvement, the energy, absolutely unbelievable, otherworldly energy. So they go into State in Love and Trust, which probably like I said, with Corduroy, arguably one of my favorite songs. Tons of energy there. Incredible song. Then, of course, they go into Alive. And
talk about the crowd singing.
One of the great goosebump moments for me in concerts is when near the end, when everybody starts screaming, I'm still alive, all the lights in Fenway Park come on.
Yeah.
And the whole fucking crowd is singing I'm Still Alive. It was nuts.
Yeah, that's the only time I filmed. I turned on.
Me too.
It was so unique. I had to film it. It was something different you don't really see in the concert.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
And then Mike McCready's absolutely ungodly solo. And I'm looking at Zeus. I'm like, how the fuck are they going to top this? Well, they do, because then they keep going and they go with Rockin' in the Free World. And everybody's losing their mind. Now, the Fenway lights are still on. So the whole crowd is singing Keep on Rockin' in the Free World. Now, this is when people started coming out and Eddie Vedder started tossing out tambourines to people. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, fucking John Krasinski from The Office comes out on stage. And
there was somebody else up there. I couldn't tell who it was.
I couldn't either. Yeah, but John Krasinski comes out and starts slapping around the friggin' tambourine and shit. And I'm like, Jesus.
Slapping the bass?
Slapping the bass. And then I said to Zeus, I'm like, I don't think they're done, because I'm pretty sure that they end with this song, and they did. They ended with Yellow Ledbetter, which, again, Pearl Jam's weird. Most bands would end with Rockin' in the Free World, but nope. They did Yellow Ledbetter. Me and Zeus, this is when we started to kind of exit out, and they did Yellow Ledbetter. And then they kind of wrapped it up with a little bit of the Star Spangled Banner, and then that was it. But holy fuck, 26 songs in total. Unbelievable energy. The band sounded amazing. I was blown away by Eddie Vedder's vocal performance. Just absolutely one of the best Pearl Jam shows I've seen, which is absolutely one of the best Pearl Jam shows I've ever seen, and we've seen them a ton of times. So just to see them now, and it could be the last time we see them. Just incredible.
I mean, I'm seeing stuff, obviously it's online shit. Everything from Eddie's daughter was on stage. Somebody named BJ Novak. Emily
he's
Blunt,
from The Office. Yeah, he's from The Office too.
Justin Theroux. And then I got everything from Chris Evans and Peter Gammons and Stephen King.
Wow.
And fucking Tim Wakefield's kids. I don't know which of this is accurate and who actually was on there.
Yeah.
But apparently a bunch of people came on there, celebrities on stage. Yeah, in the end, they played Yellow Ledbetter for me, Tom. What a unique way to end a fucking concert.
It really is. It really is.
A like kind of mellow kind of song.
Yeah.
But overall, great show. How do you complain about 25 song set list?
Yep.
That's insane.
Incredible.
Insane. Yeah.
And a varied set list. They played classics, they played deep cuts, stuff off the new album, stuff they've never played live. Like just really, really great stuff.
Covers.
Yeah, just awesome.
So one of the things, Tom, I checked to look back at our set list previews or wishes.
We kind of crushed it.
Tour.
We kind of crushed it. I've looked.
10 of 25 for you. You had Release, Given a Fly, Wreckage, Even Flow, Dark Matter, Corduroy, Rearview Mirror, State of Love and Trust, Yellow Ledbetter, Alive.
Yep.
I managed to get 12.
Nice.
Even Flow, Given a Fly, Just Breathe, State of Love and Trust, Corduroy, Jeremy, Rearview Mirror, Wreckage, Better Man, Alive, Yellow Ledbetter, and Rockin' in the Free World.
Well, I was going to say, we kind of crushed the opening and the closing. The second song was Release. I had that as the opener. I had them ending with State of Love and Trust, Yellow Ledbetter, and Alive. The little bit reverse there. You had Alive, Yellow Ledbetter, and Rockin' in the Free World. So it goes to show you that we've seen Pearl Jam enough to know what they do. But we kind of
my encores. I had Better Man, Yellow Ledbetter, Alive, and Rockin' in the Free World.
Exactly. Yeah. We kind of crushed it there.
Overall, great show, great night. Catch them if you can. If you are able to, I would see Pearl Jam. And till next time, peace out, Girl Scout. Oh, you over here? Yeah, I'm over here now.
Zeus, it's me. I want to end the show now.
Jesus Christ, Tom. Jesus Christ. Let's end the show now while we got the muscle.